Hi, this is Jason Romero, expert on success and resilience and the first and only blind person to run across America. Coming to you today with episode number 7 of a 60-part series, Relive the Run, Vision Run USA. 4 years ago, I ran 3,063 miles across America. I averaged 51.5 miles a day, and it's a top 10 fastest crossing in history and the first ever by a blind person. I learned a lot of things out there, and that's going to be the topic of each of these daily episodes, a lesson that I learned. Today is episode number 7, and this 4 years ago was March 29th, 2016. And this actually was a very formidable day. And on this particular day, the lesson was that stuff happens. And when I say stuff happens, this was a crazy day, right? I was trying to average 50 miles a day. And there's some days that we've all experienced where there's just this comedy of errors. Nothing can go right and stuff just continues to happen. Well, that was the theme for this day. We were out in the Sonoran Desert, in the high desert of California, outside of 29 Palms, moving east towards Parker, Arizona. And I had started running, and what had happened was, as I was running down the road, my mom used to pull off on the side of the road. She'd wait for me, give me food and drink, and I came running up to her, and she was waving me, "Jay, keep running, keep running, keep running." And when I went over, I was like, it's kind of odd. What's going on here? I went up, talked to my mom, and turned out she had gotten the van stuck in a soft shoulder. So we both pulled out our phones. We said, okay, that's okay. Let's call AAA and get a tow out. Well, it turns out there's no cell phone service at that point of the desert. So then we're kind of like, oh no. And we're on this little 2-lane highway. Well, here's a picture of what happened next. We were out there for about 30 minutes. Then a Good Samaritan pulls up with a tow truck, says, "Can I pull you out?" We're both like, yeah, great. Angel, wonderful. And he hooks up a tow chain, starts pulling us out. My mom starts gunning the vehicle in reverse. I think, as the van starts to get traction, it's going to crash in the back of the truck. So I scream to my mom, "Stop, stop, stop." She slams on the brakes, snaps the tow chain. The van's not all the way out. Then I'm like, oh no, it's still stuck. Go, go, go. She, backs up. The van's kind of tractioning out. It runs over the broken tow chain, and the back tire starts going flat. And I'm like, oh no. Got to change the tire. I can't change it in this thing. I'm like, "Mom, drive, drive, drive. Go to a cutout. Find a place. I'll catch up to you." The tow truck driver looks at me like, "You're crazy. You snap my chain." He takes off the other way. I'm standing out in the middle of the desert with nothing. I eventually run up, find my mom. The spare tire, we figure out, is in the inside of the cabin. We have to unload the entire van. I set the jack. I jack up the tire. I'm taking off the tire. Turns out my mom drove on a completely flat tire and cut the tire. And all we had was a little, spare tire, kind of like a Dunkin' Donut tire. You can only go 50 miles on it, and you can't go faster than 50 miles an hour. And that was the end of our day. And we had fought hard, and we'd only gotten 16 miles that day. We had to turn around and go back to where we came from. And this was an example of one of those days where it was error after error after error after error. And the thing that we learned in that was that we were a team, we were working together, but there were times, I tell you what, I was getting crazy, I was getting upset, I was not working with my mom, I was getting upset with her, I was not being patient, I was not remaining calm. And as all these comedies of errors happened, with 2020 hindsight, we look back at it, we're like, if we just stayed calm and we were patient as this comedy of errors was happening, we'd be able to get through it a lot easier. So the lesson here was that stuff happens. This is a little clip from the end of the day after my mom and I had gotten through all these comedies of errors and all these emotions had cycled through. So here's that clip. We're on the way back. We only got about 15 miles in. What are you laughing at? What happened? What happened this morning?
I put it on the shoulder, and we had it towed out, and then we had a flat tire. I want to be out of California. That's all I know.
It was a rough morning. One of those days. So now we're headed back to 29. We were going to go to Parker and get a tire, but nothing gets there for like a day. 29 Palms has tires, so we're riding back on our little tire. Not a lot of miles today. And my mom deferred from taking the picture of me underneath the truck truck speaking in tongues, trying to change the tire. That's it. There's our crew texting us, trying to tell us where the tires are. More desert. This is a wild day. So you see, at the end of this whole thing, after we realized and experienced that, yes, stuff happens and you just got to deal with it. But if you stay patient and you're calm in the midst of stuff happening, you'll get through it a lot better. And as you encounter adversities in life, be prepared. It's just like traffic on a Friday afternoon. You're going to have it. Don't get all uptight when it happens. Stuff does happen, and that's life. But you get through it, and you'll be just fine. If you exercise patience and you stay calm as stuff is happening, you're going to be a lot better off. Not what I did here, but what I learned to do in the future and in these future situations where stuff happens. So in any event, this was one of those days I recounted. And on this day, we only, like I said, got 16 miles that day. And on successive days, I had to make up the mileage. So I would run 51 or 52 miles a day. Took us 30 days to make up the mileage that we missed, but we eventually did make it up and averaged more than 50 miles a day. I did write a book about my run across America. It's called Running into the Dark. It's available on Amazon. And my second book, The Success Cycle, will be available in summer 2020. So if you like what you heard, please check my website, www.jasonromero.net. There's a lot of information on me there. I'm a speaker, author on success and resilience, do coaching, work with a lot of organizations, so hit me up if you need some of that help. Alternatively, I will be coming out with another video tomorrow, but today's lesson is just the simple fact, stuff happens, and we get through it, and we will get through it. So until tomorrow, have a great day, have a great night, and you can do it. When stuff happens to you, stay patient and calm. You'll do a lot better than I did, and I'm learning to do better. So have a great day. Take care.